minutes. I've already wished everybody happy International Women's Day. But the theme this year is to embrace equity, and it's been pointed out to us that equity allocates the resources and opportunities needed to get an outcome. And while it's important to celebrate Women's Day and International Women's Day, it's also important that that celebration doesn't obscure what we're talking about. The radical roots of International Women's Day, which started in 1911, and the changes that needed to be made. At no stage can a woman collude with a system that's completely unequal in this country and throughout it's too important. We need transformative change, and women have to be the leaders in that transformative change. The UN General Secretary captures it in his words: women's rights are vanishing before our eyes. This is the 21st century as we celebrate International Women's Day, and that on the current track, gender equality is 300 years away. Sinead Givney, Chief Commissioner of the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission, said in January 2023 that violence against women has reached crisis levels in Ireland. And so, while I appreciate we've made progress in terms of policies and legislation, we're far, far away from where we should be. 11 women died in violent circumstances last year, making that year the worst year in a decade for violence against women. That's Women's Aid. Despite a programme for government committed to legislation to introduce domestic homicide reviews, that legislation hasn't still happened. We still do not have something as basic as enough refugees in the country. We shouldn't need them, but we do need them. And they're one basic step if we're seriously interested in making an equal society. According to Safe Ireland, the third national strategy is more ambitious than its predecessors. It was late coming, we have it now. But what did they say? It barely scratches the surface of what is a wide-scale social problem. Given the extent of the problem and decades of non-investment, regrettably, the upward trend of violence is likely to continue before the benefit or impact of these recent initiatives take place. And then we perpetuate with the mother and baby home, where we exclude, what do we exclude? Over 24,000 people on an arbitrary basis because of 6 months. Prior to 6 months, you know nothing, you don't suffer. The Women of Honour report, where trust is of the essence. Ministers, both of you, I address you. Where is the report in relation to the Women of Honour? And finally, I would like to just acknowledge my colleague here beside me, Joan Collins. Because of time pressure, she's not getting to speak, but she wants to acknowledge her solidarity, as I do, with all women who struggle. And to finish with a quote from James Connolly that she's brought to my attention: none so fitted to break the claims, to break the chains as those who wear them, and none so well equipped to decide what a fetter is. And no doubt about it, women are still in change, physically and metaphorically. And we cannot talk about an equal society until we have that transformative change, which in the end will also help save the planet.
Thank you, Deputy.